final episode of 2024. Christmas is a week away. Holiday season's here. MLS season is over. But it's never too early to talk 2025 Major League Soccer. We're going to jump into the video in just one sec. But before we get there, guys, if you haven't done so already, man, I don't know what you're doing. Like the video down below. Subscribe to the channel. Got plenty of crazy content coming in 2025. You're not going to want to miss any of it right here on Goals TV. So again, subscribe down below. If you're familiar with Up MLS, you'll recognize the faces on your screen. To conclude 2024, we got Hector from Insert Name FC. We got Dobby from the Blue Burrows Pod, and we got Hitman Honda, the reigning MLS champion Honda, on Wake Up MLS today to help me rank every one of the 29 MLS franchises in a tier list for our way too early, and I mean way too early, 2025 power rankings. Let's jump right in, guys. I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm sure everybody's curious as to where we're going with this. So let's jump in and start ranking our teams. Guys, really quickly check these tiers out, okay? From top to bottom, we got MLS Cup or Bust. That's self-explanatory, but if you need the handheld, they got to win MLS Cup. It's pretty much there for them now. They got to do it. Playoff locks, we think. The middle one's my favorite. Just wait for the summer transfer window. If you tune into Wake Up MLS at all throughout the season, you know what we're talking about. Ed Nunn, we miss you. It's a rebuild, right? And 2024 San Jose Earthquakes. Self-explanatory. All right, guys, let's jump in, man. We got Colorado Rapids first. I'm kind of thinking here, to be honest. Perfect. I know, didn't they lose their sporting director, something along those lines, or he's on the way out? I think I heard something along those lines in the Twitter sphere this week. But guys, like they finished top 4 in the West this past season. I mean,
made crazy trades too.
Yeah, made some crazy trades to make it all happen. If they could gel a little bit more before we move on from them, do they have a shot at making it to the Western Conference Final?
Yeah, definitely. I think they do. Maybe they're one of those teams that are maybe like a piece away, or now that they got the continuity together. Sometimes just building from that core is always important. But I maybe add one more piece to that team, and I think that this team can be very much a good team to watch next season.
Yeah, fair enough. I agree. I don't know where they're going to end up as far as playoffs go, but I think if they get in, it was kind of an unfortunate they had to play the Galaxy along the way, and then the Galaxy would go on to win it. So definitely playoff locks, but I'd be really curious to see how far Colorado go in year 2 of like this rebuild project. All right, guys, Nashville. What are we thinking? Because this team was fucking weird in 2024. Still rebuild?
They're going to be.
I guess.
Yeah.
Why?
They need a rebuild, Ace. Because they're going to go Hani Mukhtar again? Like, what's the point?
He's getting older. I don't know, man. Got a new head coach. I kind of agree. Like, they should be in rebuild mode. You know what I mean? They ended up finishing, I don't know, a few points off of being in a wild card spot, 4 points off, but still 13th place in the East. I know East is very top heavy, some very strong teams at the top, but I don't know, man. I don't know if they're like one of those teams that's one transfer window away, looking at what Colorado did, but it still feels like a little bit like a rebuild mode. No? Anybody disagree? Yep. All right, cool. Let's move on. Atlanta United, who should be in rebuild mode, but maybe considering they made the playoffs, they're one big window away.
Hey, they get Ronnie down there, they're going to cook. They already got Chris Henderson. He's a fantastic GM, and he lifted Inter Miami off the ground, and he was the reason why Seattle had those competitive rosters when they were making Western Conference Finals like it was nobody's business. And now look what they are now with the new GM, and Ronnie, the proven MLS winner. He took my club all the way to the mountaintop, and we love him for that. He's always going to be a legend here in New York City, and if they get him, they're going to be a team to watch.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with everything Dobby just said right there. So do you think, though, by bringing in Ronnie D'Elia and then looking at the rest of this team, does he still need to like add a ton of pieces, or can he just replace? I say it like it's nothing, right? Just replace his 3 TPs, but
they got DP spots, and he's going to have a lot more of a say down there in Atlanta than he did it with New York City, because New York City, they got CFG, and they typically have more of the say of who they want to sign and who they get. So
I mean, I think you're saying they need to go get their DPs, but I mean, look what they were able to do without DPs.
That's
Are they playoff locks?
They had no. Let's calm down.
Calm down with that.
But I mean, they just caught lightning in a bottle, right? That's what was the real part that happened. But you're gonna need some experience. You need some guys that can get in and bring in that winning culture. Because I think there's something there. There's a culture in there when you got rid of Giakoumakis and Almada, which is surprising that you can say those words when you lose those kind of guys.
Seriously.
But I think that, and McCarthy's gone. Did he? Yeah.
He retired. He retired.
Okay, I thought he was gonna pull a shocker for everybody, but no. You never know. But I think you did lose. I think that's a big loss for the team, and I think that's going to be important to try to fill that role as well. Having some leadership in that team. I know Brad Guzan's going to be there, but you need a lot of locker room guys in there.
Yeah, bro. Imagine they bring back somebody like Darlington Nagbe. I don't know. I think it'd be really, really interesting to see who they go
Martinez.
after. Yeah, bro. I'm just saying, even just to fill that McCarty spot. Like, I agree with you. A veteran is almost key, and McCarty was so valuable for Atlanta, especially in that last stretch. So I feel like he had a masterclass in the playoffs against Miami. People talk about Guzan, but I thought McCarty was just as good, if not better. So anyway, all right, guys, we'll keep them. I agree. I think we'll keep them there. We'll wait for the window. Let's see what happens. Let's see who they sign, before the season. But still a lot of business to be had for Atlanta. All right, Austin. Are they also in this tier?
No,
I don't know.
So again, they hired Nico Estevez, right? Coming off of being fired midseason by Dallas, and I don't know. He's coming into this team that's in a really weird spot, man. They didn't make playoffs. Had such an up and down season, and they're probably going to lose some pieces because some of them are aging, right? Especially their front line. Their front line's super fucking old. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know who you build this team around. Didn't they also let go of who was the DP? Ring.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, Ring.
Alex
was a
Ring?
DP
Yeah.
too.
Who was the one you said, Davi?
Rigoni, but I thought it was midseason.
Yeah, that was midseason. But yeah, no,
they also let go of Lord Jarzinho.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yes.
The MLS legend, not to be confused with Icon, but legend. Giassi's out of this. Century mark goal scorer in MLS, guys. Honda knows. That's your boy right there, bro. Come on.
Very clear, bro. Very clear.
Hey man, I mean, if I can score Jazzy Zardes type goals, I mean, sign me up. But
it's a skill. It is a skill.
Dude, I'll never forget that one against Guyana. I think it was in the Gold Cup where it just comes.
It just slams off his shit.
I'll never forget that one.
Bro, I'm telling you, only Giassi could score like that. Not trying to dunk on out of this right now, but anyway. Hey,
that's a skill, man. That's not.
It is. It's a skill. But so are they? I'm so torn on this. Are they kind of in that mode of Nashville, like not knowing where they are, probably still need to rebuild a lot under a new coach? Or
I mean,
you need to rebuild a lot.
You're someone that had full firsthand experience with Estevez, with Nico. How do you feel with what Austin has right now? Because right now we can't talk about what they could get. We need to talk about what they have right now.
Yeah, fair.
Can Nico work with that?
Yes and no. There are pieces of this team he can work with that he didn't have at Dallas. I think he didn't have like a consistent center back pairing that he wanted to build around. He had Tafari, and even Tafari had his missteps. Man, decision making wasn't great. Great athlete, but for a number of reasons, Nico never got like that pairing. He probably has that with Austin to an extent. It's got a good center mid he could build around. It was an aging Yaramendi at the end, right? So. And Paxton was never fucking healthy. So, yeah, there are pieces, but the front line just has to go, in my opinion. He's starting with Giassi. That's good, but you got to, like, really retool that whole front line. If Rubio is your best option, I mean, no disrespect to the Chilean, bro, but I don't know. He's got a good engine, sure, but, like, I don't know. He's aging already. I just there's still pieces they need. So, part of me says, yes, rebuild, but they could come out of the gate just – looking decent under a new manager. New manager bounce, right? It's a thing. So I kind of feel like they're in the same spot until I see this team play. For me, it would be a rebuild.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of pieces that need to come into play for them, at least to go on that wait till the summer transfer window category. I think right now, for what it looks, and I hope Hernan doesn't take this in any way, that the Dallas and the Dynamo fan here are both in the feeling that this team is right now in rebuild mode.
Rebuild. And not hands up, bro. Hey, listen, rebuild mode. All right.
Hey, you got LAFC, so don't worry about it.
That's true. Yeah, you got your backup squad, and some stuff to be had there too. But yeah,
hang the banner.
I think this is fair for right now, at least. So we'll keep them there. Montreal. I don't even know if the rebuild started. I don't know if there's still the earthquakes.
2024 San Jose earthquake.
No. Bro, weren't they close? They finished in 8th. They were in a wild card spot. They had that wild card game.
They got molly. Wait, no, they didn't get mollywopped by Atlanta. Wait, no, they did get mollywopped by Atlanta.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't great.
I don't know.
No, didn't that one go to PKs or am I tripping?
It did go to PKs.
Oh, never mind.
I don't know where to put them.
It was the West.
I feel like they're just missing a couple pieces.
That's
like
right.
Some good DPs.
Vancouver flat out embarrassed Portland.
In Portland, yeah, that was the one that. Yeah, I was like, damn, they just
what a home performance by Vancouver.
By the Rose City. Yeah, Montreal had it close against Atlanta, and they just they didn't get it. I'm probably gonna keep them here. I think to say that they're like dog shit, it would be really unfair. Like, I know we want to say it. I know we want to say it.
And I mean, Joseph Martinez wasn't necessarily like a big focal point for them by any means. So I'm not gonna say that losing him is a big loss to Montreal, but I do think that there could be some improvements done on the roster.
Yeah, and keep in mind this is second-year head coach too, so he gets another year with his team. More time to develop the ideas and everything over the offseason. So they should, in theory, be better. Right, but they still technically weren't that bad. Everybody and their mom thought the Eastern Conference was everything. Right, it's the strongest conference of the two, and they finished in a playoff spot. So I don't want to just be only outcome-based thinking here, but shit, I was a fan of Montreal in the start of the season. John hated it, but I was all on that train.
John almost bought a jersey.
Dude, almost, man. That was what a capitulation. That was crazy.
I think they traded Lassiter, right?
Yeah, man.
Massive loss.
Yeah.
Again, I would say maybe still in a little bit of a rebuild under a new manager, but I still wouldn't call them dog shit. To me, they're not worse than DC or the Revs or Fire, Toronto even.
That's bottom of the barrel. Eastern.
Well, yeah, that's what this tier is, bro. Bottom of the fucking barrel. Like, it doesn't get worse than this in MLS right here.
Well, I mean, 2024 San Jose.
Again, you Quakes fans, hey, listen, not shitting on you, but you would agree you had a pretty trash season. So yeah, I'm gonna make an executive decision. This is not Earthquakes. We will hit Earthquakes teams, do not get me wrong, but this is not them. All right, Charlotte FC. One more window.
I don't know, man. I think that the only thing they really need is a striker.
That's true. They should have got a fucking striker. Tim Marine, most respect, bro, but you just weren't necessary, in my opinion, for this team.
And they got worse defensively when he came on.
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't know what happened. I was like, dude, okay, cool. He went the Arteta route, right? He's gonna just shore up the back line. They somehow got worse. I don't know, man. This one.
And I think playoff lock, like we're saying, they're gonna make the playoffs. I think with this Charlotte roster, with what this team is doing with their coach, they're a playoff team. The question is, can they be an MLS Cup contender? And until they get that 9, I don't see that happening. So, but I think they are a lock in the playoffs.
Agreed.
With that defense, all I gotta do is show up the attack, and this team is almost bulletproof.
That's a great take. Nothing else needed. Fire.
Yeah, 2024 sounds like
2024.
Even with Berhalter? Or especially with Berhalter.
Look, remember, when Berhalter leaves for some job, I don't know.
Oh, true.
Maybe he gets the Mexico job. Maybe,
Please no. I just came.
Hey, you got to miss Tata Martino.
Or maybe he gets the El Salvador job.
Don't put that evil
Yes.
on.
Yes.
Look. Bouquet,
You put that evil on us,
will
right?
never allow that
I'm
to
just
happen.
saying, bro. It goes both ways, man. Get CONCACAF. That's all I'm gonna say. Get CONCACAF.
I might just tattoo a 13 on Berhalter if he decides to show up to El Salvador. Send him to that prison.
Oh, jeez.
But hey, I'm just saying, Chicago. Remember, when Berhalter leaves, just like with Columbus, when he left, they won the MLS Cup. So
Subscribe down below. Yeah, I fully agree. I think that this is where they are. If Berhalter somehow turns it around, I'd be shocked. But I agree with what Hector just said. They're going to be good
much
as soon as he leaves.
There's so much that needs to be done on this team.
They have some pieces. I will give them the credit. Like, they just haven't found a way to make it work yet. But they do have some pieces. They just need a coach who knows what the fuck he's doing. And honestly, they need a full season without Shaqiri, which they will get. So, you know, I don't know. The start of last season was bad with that dude. He didn't give a damn. So we'll leave them there. Crew.
MLS Cup or bust.
Yeah.
So is this Nancy's last season, you think?
Could be, but who knows? But
you're talking about a massive payout, though.
It is. I just think at some point Europe becomes too attractive, but especially considering he's European. But at the same time, like yeah, especially if he wins. I think if he wins, if the Crew come back and win it, I think he rides off into the sunset MLS wise and just
just go out on top. Go out on top.
Yeah, that's exactly how I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, DC United.
2024 Earthquakes.
What? Benteke's team? He's the top goal scorer in MLS.
It's Benteke and 10 other bums that hold him down.
All right, so here's the question. Because obviously it's clear that DC United needs some pieces to improve on, besides, Christian Benteke just scoring goals because he's taller than everybody. But I think when you say just wait till the summer transfer window, are we talking about a ridiculous amount of signings, or is rebuild in that category for a ridiculous amount of signings? Because let's be honest, DC United needs a ridiculous amount of signings.
They need a good amount of signings. I will agree with that. Yeah, it's tough. Like, do you see a DP as big as Benteke playing for a team in full rebuild mode? Because I don't.
Probably not.
I don't. I feel like when you have a striker that good, like, it makes sense. And they did trade for some players, right? Didn't Stroud get traded from Austin over to DC before last year? So they try to put some pieces around him. I mean, it's just tough, bro. They leaked so many goals at the back.
I think they got McNaughton today, and Luis Barraza.
Oh, did they?
I think so, yeah, from Nashville, and they got Luis Barraza a couple weeks ago from New York City, but he's nothing more than a backup keeper. So, but they've made some moves, but it's not the big moves that we anticipate.
And that's my question. Like, how many big moves do you think DC United needs? Obviously, shoring up the back line is probably the top priority, but is that all that they need?
To go from just outside playoffs to in, I do think if they spend correctly, they are one good window away from being like a mid playoff team. You know what I mean? Like,
not a wild card team.
Like Minnesota. No respect to Minnesota United, right? But like good team, strong, confident, young, new coach, good ideas. You're going to get there, but you just don't really see them carving out a path or making a run. Like, just, they're kind of a mid playoff team. That's, to me, is DC United with Benteke up top.
Sure.
So that's all that I'm saying. But for that reason, they're one good window away, but they would have to make literally the right signings. So, all in agreement here? Yeah? Okay, cool.
All right.
Cincinnati?
Playoff
this was
lock.
Interesting, bro.
Actually, no, not playoff lock.
You think the playoff lock? Oh,
I don't know.
Well, if Lucho leaves,
it depends on Lucho. Like, if Lucho leaves, what are you gonna do?
But bro, they just signed that forward.
They did just sign that forward.
That should be every. I mean, I don't know if he doesn't believe in the signing.
Yeah, Oriana.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
a good back line. Yeah, you lost both your center backs this season and still finished third in the East.
Are we certain that he's not coming back? Like, is it the rumor is so strong that he's not coming back? Because I mean, if FC Cincinnati is able to say, "Hey, look, this is what we're bringing you. We're giving you a perfect weapon. We're bringing you another Brandon Vasquez, essentially." Is that enough to get Lucho to stay in FC Cincinnati?
I don't know.
think so.
Maybe, but the outside factors too, with like his family, know that might.
True. I just think he wants to win it. I think he wants his time in MLS to mean something. And unless he gets an offer from a top 4 team, like I mean top 4 team across MLS. Like, how many teams are actually a clear level ahead of Cincinnati? 3?
Not many.
If
Probably
that,
3.
bro, a clear level. I just don't see it. Like, they're already very, very competitive, just like 1 or 2 pieces away. So, like, for me, if it were an executive decision, like as a player, I'm like, bro, they just bought you. They just a great forward, a new tool to go up there and win more games with. Like, I would stay and try to get that chip, but I don't know. I haven't seen a ton of strong.
As far as the contenders, quote unquote, how many have a 10?
Gucci, well, yeah, Columbus is good. Miami is good. LAFC is probably
also,
good.
If Lucha goes to Columbus, that is the ultimate betrayal.
That's the Figo switch from Barca to Real Madrid, bro. That's what that is.
Yeah,
dude. Isn't it crazy that the crew are playing a game in Cleveland?
Yes, I think it's pretty funny. Actually, I think it's more funny that Messi's going to Cleveland. I think that's fucking hilarious, bro. I can't lie. Like imagine being Cleveland. Like, who's Messi, bro?
He's gonna go throw a first pitch at a Cleveland Guardians game,
bro. For real. Oh man.
¿Qué putas esta mierda?
I want to see the Messi Browns jersey. You know what I mean? I want to see that.
the Messi Browns jersey.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, "Where's LeBron? Where's LeBron?"
Cavs jersey. Yeah, bro.
I mean, hey, Spider Mitchell does have an Adidas deal, so maybe Spider Mitchell and Messi collab. Maybe
lacrosse collab. You never know. We'll see. But look, guys, I think this is pretty spot on right there. To be honest. All right, man. My team, Dallas.
We'll go wherever you want to go, man.
They're rebuilding, man. You can tell we're kind of moving the pieces around. We're not going behind Austin. I'll tell you that shit right now. I still think Dallas can make the playoffs this coming season. I really do. I think if Musa even slightly improves from last season, Velasco getting a full year back, some of our young midfielders and defenders getting fully healthy and back, I do think we're going to be a hard team to play against. But there's just also so much in flux, right? Pineda might move on. Ariola looks like he's probably going to move on. Both to Seattle, which I'd be really curious to hear what Xiao Yan thinks about that. I think he wasn't very happy.
I don't think he is.
No. So honestly, I'm not ecstatic, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad at those moves. So yeah, man. I think you're kind of relieved because of the fact that like it's kind of like a blank canvas in some sense because you do have Musa, and now it's just about getting the guys that will fit for what you want to do with Musa. I agree.
So I think it's it's literally like a Moneyball, freaking what was it? Jonah Hill's quote, like it's just the possibilities of what FC Dallas can do. Now that they've moved on from certain players, it's just like it's interesting what FC Dallas does to make this team competitive.
Yeah. And bro, I like the way the new coach Eric Quill is moving. He seems to be a guy that trusts the youth a lot. Did a lot in New Mexico United. Just kind of, and also comes from FC Dallas, family, if you will. He was a Burn player. Believes in the philosophy, the system. I hope Dallas chooses to go back to what we were, which was trust in our academy. Supplement some good MLS experience around them, and just see how far we can push it. So. We'll find out, but I think a rebuild still technically is right. Dynamo. This was probably
playoff locks.
Locks. A lot. No, bro. Hey, I'm down. Put your balls on the table. Why are they a playoff lock, Davi?
I don't know. They made the playoffs. I don't know.
Okay.
They lost Herrera.
Lost Herrera.
I mean, but the defense is good. They have a solid defense.
That is true.
Mikhail might go to Brazil. There's teams in Brazil.
I heard about that too.
As far as backline, you still have Ethan Bardlow, so I'm not I would prefer Mikhail, but Ethan Bardlow could still play very solid defense. You still have Griffin Dorsey. Franco Escobar seems like he will be staying with the team. So I think that at least essentially the core of the backline will be there. The question is what we're going to see with the midfield, because I think if I'm reading things correctly, Coco Carrasquillo will go back to his traditional role of being an 8, not being the 10, so he'll be playing a position that he's more comfortably. Now everybody calls it the quote-unquote the Hector Herrera position. But, I mean...
And what happened to Artur?
Artur might be leaving. Which, I mean, they did plan ahead to Dynamo. They did bring Jefferson Valverde. Maybe a little bit raw. No one really knows too much about that guy, as well as I don't really know much of him. But that could be an option. Maybe they think that he's the guy. But the thing I do like is that Bossy will be returning to his role as a 10, because that's what he actually is a cam. A healthy Nelson, I think, is going to be very important for the Dynamo. Frank, I mean, I need to see. I'm sorry, KFC Ferreira, but you need a.
It's time.
It's time. It's
time, man.
You gotta go back to Paraguay or anywhere else. You can't. We can't give you any more KFC, man.
Yeah, go anywhere, but you can't stay here. It is what it is.
Yeah, because I honestly think the striker, and I can't remember the guy. I can't think of the guy. Ponte. Yeah. I think Ponte has proven to be pretty good. I just think he needs a better support. And I think when you get Nelson Quiones back healthy, the right side might be a little bit of a question mark for me. I don't know where you go on the right side, but maybe that's the plan, or that the young German player Inali, hopefully he can get healthy and maybe he's that guy on the right side. But and I mean, no Steve Clark. I think Tarbell's going to be the starter. I know they brought in Maurer from FC Dallas, and I think he's just there to be a backup, to be honest with you. But it's an interesting position right now for the Dynamo. I think right now, I'm like, just wait till the summer transfer window right now.
Yeah. All right. I mean, if you were, I'll put you up here. I do think that like you're probably like one good piece away, a 6. Maybe someone else to kind of just offer some depth on the wings, or I guess even up front. Someone who could maybe an attacker who could play both. Either almost like I know it's hard to find a Cucho profile, but someone who can play as a winger or as a striker kind of has the finishing ability. So I still think Houston's like in between.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Imagine Cristiano in Houston, bro.
Jeez. We'll give him some swangers, we'll give him the double cup, styrofoam cup. I know that Inter Miami kid from Spain trying not to tell me that purple doesn't belong in Houston.
Oh, I know. I remember. Yeah, that kid's awesome,
off.
Man. That kid's awesome, but he's interesting.
He's a good kid. Good kid, but still, yeah. Fuck you.
All right, man. LAFC.
Cup or bust.
MLS Cup or bust, bro.
Yeah, 1,000%. Especially after how playoffs went this year, bro. You guys absolutely shit the bed in playoffs. Minnesota United.
Give it one more window.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
But what's missing for them?
I just think they're a young team. I just think they need a little more playoff experience, I'm being honest. I can't really – I think their forward line's good. Midfield pretty solid. Their back line had some moments. I always think back. This shit lives rent-free in my mind. So that set piece against DC where Benteke was just kind of waiting for the ball. Remember that shit, Tavi? Yeah, and he assumed – I guess he just assumed he wasn't going to get it, and it just bounced straight through the fucking line like nobody was there, and landed right at his feet, and he banged it home for the winner. So – I mean, Davi, you saw that shit. It was a travesty, bro.
That's like one of the highlights that for someone that just wants to show that MLS is an inferior league.
Exactly. It was one of those. That and like the Chicago game where the ball was pinging around in the 6-yard box, nobody could put it in. Those types of moments are like, fuck, I'm an MLS fan. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna keep them there. I do think they just need more experience around them, but the Dynamo to me are further along. Revs.
2024 San Jose Earthquakes.
Yeah, that's going to be there. That's definitely going to be there. Are they
But
ahead
they got
of the Fire?
Jackson Yule.
Hey, bro, chill. They did get Jackson Yule. And they sent Lima the other way, which I don't know how some Revs fans feel about that, but
is that a addition by subtraction?
yeah, I guess, man. I don't. You have to put the Revs above them, I think, because to me the Fire were still pretty bad. Just this past season, like they were. I don't know. They just got Berhalter. Porter's more of a proven coach. I mean, I don't know. I think they have more, but either way, it's literally the
Man, but I've never seen such a down bad coach since Bo Porter.
Davi, what are you writing, bro? Let's see it. The big reveal.
I think he knows what's coming.
All right. New York City FC. You can see Davi's message down below. We think.
Give it one more window. I want to say playoff.
Bro, that's actually that's a respectable take. That's a respectable take because I would have said the same thing. I think to me, it was kind of impressive you guys made playoffs with the middle part of the season that you guys had, and you still don't even know who your head coach is going to be. So, yeah, I think you need one more window.
It's going to be Dez. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Give me Des Buckingham. I know we just had an English coach, but this guy knows ball. This guy genuinely knows ball, man. This guy got Oxford United promoted from League One to the Championship, and he wasn't doing that bad in the Championship either. He's not even in the relegation zone. Like Oxford going into the season should have known that relegation was a possible thing. It's a possibility, and they're they have the lowest payroll in the whole championship out of the whole league, and they seem to be doing pretty well for themselves. They're in I think 18th place, so they're a couple places above that. But I don't know why they decided to fire him unless unless New York City came calling and or something like that. But I don't know. But this guy, we were linked with this guy a couple years ago. I wanted him when Cushing took over in 2023, and the summer of 23 when we weren't doing that good. And then apparently this guy was the heir apparent to Ronnie Dyla when he departed for Club Brugge. So this was the CFG guy that we wanted, but we ended up getting Nick Cushing instead. And god damn, I'm so glad that's over. That
Cushing says you're welcome, by the way, for the playoff.
I don't know. I mean,
he sends his regards. Yeah, bro. Go ahead.
He went on to like Sky Sports like last night, and he said, "Oh, it was like he was like he's been part of like different like processes of like end of the season evaluations and stuff." I think this guy's shocked that he actually lost his job. I don't think he saw him losing his job at the end of the season coming. I don't think he saw that. Nobody saw that coming from New York City FC. And when we got the news the week after we got knocked out of the playoffs, it was a fantastic surprise, and I think it's monumental. And this change, in my opinion, was long overdue. So we want Des Buckingham. He's another young head coach, but this guy, like his CV and everything is just impressive for a young coach. And he was at Mumbai City. He was winning the league easily with them over there. He obviously the Oxford story. He's pretty impressive, and he actually visited New York City during the summer 2023. And there's pictures up on his Instagram page of him going to the game against Columbus, and he visited the training ground and all that. So take of that what you will. The CFG connections, they run a lot. So who knows? It might be him, or it might be Jim Curtin, which is the other guy that's rumored. But I don't care how far you're in the like talkings with Jim Curtin. If you have a chance to get Des Buckingham, just hire him instead.
We'll see, man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
but I still think I agree with you. I still think they're one window away, plus a good coach, maybe. So we'll see. Orlando, definitely locks. I think. Well, if
I don't know.
If Aqua leaves, are they playoff locks then?
Yes.
If Torres is gone, right? Because he's probably going to Palmeiras, probably going back, going down to Brazil. So if that happens and you lose your 10, and I mean a big 10. They're still playoff locks?
I would.
They're a good team, bro. I would say this was so. Again, championship DVD. How many times did we say on the show?
I would say so.
I mean, not behind Cincinnati.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I still think it's a piece. It's a big piece to lose, but you just gotta feel. Oh, who do they get back too? Right? Wasn't there a major injury this past season? Did they get somebody back? I can't remember with Orlando, but either way, I mean, no, I don't think so. Midfielders,
I
no,
don't think so. No.
yeah, I don't think so. They
I
do get
think
a
the
full.
positive too, though, is that you don't have any other tournament to worry about. So
Yeah,
I mean, not till later on for the Leagues Cup. That's now going to not have a break between. So
yeah, yeah. But look, up top, man, they still got Enrique. They still got Muriel. They still got Angulo out in the wing. They still got Duncan McGuire. Technically, I don't even know if that's going to happen. Right? Like he may finally get his move. We'll see. But I still think they have pieces. You know, they're not Torres. Don't get me wrong, but still have pieces. So I think that's a good shout. Philadelphia. No Jim Curtin. Didn't make playoffs.
Bradley Carnell, he's the rumored head coach after their number one choice went to the
Carnell might be the most fitting besides Jim Curtin for that team. I don't know why. I just think of, I don't know. He doesn't really have anything crazy about his tactics. I could see him being a coach that just like, yeah, does what the FO says, like just works with whatever shitty budget they may have.
I think they lost Jack Elliott.
Yeah, they let him go in free agency.
Okay, this is definitely a rebuild, bro. The question is, are they above Nashville or not?
Kevin Sullivan.
If he saves this team, it'll be insane.
I'm just saying, like I'm with you guys about rebuild, but the thing is though, if anybody knows anything about Philadelphia, they have a very good academy, and
They do.
Kevin Sullivan, and that's just one guy. There is other kids in that youth system that are probably coming up in the ranks with Union 2 that I think that it's one of the things that kind of annoys me about Philadelphia. They don't go after players because they have so many guys that come through their system, and they're from that stupid corner of America, the Northeast, where they shit out just a bunch of players.
Ballers, yeah, ballers. Absolutely.
So I'm just saying, Kevin Sullivan, the clock's ticking. The clock's ticking. You're Philly because you need to take full advantage of this kid before he goes to Man City.
Yeah. I will say this: if they retool their front line a little bit, right? I think Adeniran's fine as a striker. I think if Gazdag stays, Gazdag and McGlynn stay, and this team is still is kind of starting in a good spot under a new coach to an extent. You add Kevin Sullivan, you maybe bring in like another forward to just add more spice to that line. I mean, Jack Elliott's a big loss. I think Kai Wagner's still there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, one or two pieces, maybe one in the back line, one up front, but I still feel like, yeah, we'll keep them there.
There's unknowns. There's unknowns. I agree, and that's why I'm with you guys on the rebuild part.
Yeah, they're there. Realistically, I think they're still there until we figure out what the new coach is going to come in and try and do. So more pieces to be moved, I'm sure. Portland, possibly without Evander. I like to think that maybe he's probably played his last game for Portland, considering what he said. But maybe Portland forgave him.
I think Portland's in a position where they kind of have to.
Yeah, true, bro. I mean, if you let go of Evander, I don't know. I mean, Anthony might be your last like big name attacker, I think.
Did they get rid of Neville, or is he still there?
No, I think he's still there.
Neville's there.
Yeah.
I think his job is safe. Right now his job is safe. There's no hot seat for him.
They just need a viable defender, bro. They just need somebody to help stop more goals than they conceded last year, to be honest. Just
honestly,
that's somebody.
That's their just waits their transfer window. Kind of just shore up that back line. Clearly, who was it that they brought from Inter Miami? The Canadian
Miller.
Yeah. Come on.
Clearly,
Miller.
he was not enough.
Yeah.
So
they need another piece. And Kamal Miller, like he's a decent defender, but yeah, it wasn't even close to being enough. Real Salt Lake, the Dogs, once upon a time.
Give it one more window.
I mean, I think they're a playoff lock if they could just find their dog.
I mean, they were a playoff lock this season for sure, but they started way better than they finished. If they are, I would actually put them behind Charlotte.
Because that's honestly the thing that's missing to me is as soon as they lost their dog, this team was just neutered. So that
I don't know, man.
And that was
Joe
rough.
It was. He got suspended. He was out of form. There was all that controversy and shit talk around Luna because the national team wasn't calling him up, and it was missed opportunities here and there. And I don't know, man.
You know
and
what?
then, like,
that's how they lost a dog, because all of a sudden they just started getting all victimized.
I guess, bro. Back line was kind of starting to be in shambles. They had to go to their backup keeper.
I mean, though, there's those rumors about potentially Diego Luna going to Leeds. So
that is crazy. Well, not crazy because Luna's a good player, but it would be insane if he, left this team. That would be a major piece gone. And I, at that point, would almost be like, all right, we need to throw him up here.
We might have to put them on the summer track, because I do think they're missing
something. They're not like almost there, like 100%, like these teams are. Okay, I don't mind the shout. And if Luna does leave, then like honestly, bro, we were fucking prophets at that point. You know what I mean? Like 100% they belong there at that point. All right, Quakes.
2024 San Jose Earthquakes.
There it is, man. 2025. I don't see a ton changing, San Jose fans, unfortunately, man.
Brandon Vasquez, decline. Like, do not come to this team. Espinoza, find a way out.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Yeah, I Espinoza, you gotta go, bro. I would take his Espinoza at Dallas.
What about
would.
Maradona, his nephew?
They need their Maradona. Maybe that's where he can be the Maradona.
Get him to New York.
Yeah, man. Concrete jungle, where dreams are made of, man. Take him over there.
Where dreams are made. All right,
get him to New York. Get him to New York. Seattle.
Oh man, the throwback logo.
Yes, sir. Not using their actual logo this time.
Hey, you know what? Now that I think about it, that NYCFC logo is outdated. Unfortunately,
honestly, I could give two shits about your font that changed on your fucking badge. Like, I don't care about that, to be honest.
Dude, I forgot that they changed it until I saw like the Coachella Invitational, like their graphic. I'm like, oh fuck.
I just saw the letters. I'm like, okay, so whoever paid this design team, you got fucking ripped off. I could have done this for you in Canva in 10 minutes. I'm just saying.
Dude, CFG shit oil money, so they don't give a fuck.
I know they don't care. I'm just saying, like, they must have charged you an arm and a leg because you're NYCFC and you got ripped off, bro. So yeah, we're gonna go with the old badge. Hey, bro, this is honestly a minor oversight, but I actually prefer the Sounders old logo. Okay. So I think they are playoff locks. I think Jesus does actually make them a little better, 100%. Like,
you just gotta tell him he's going up against a Caribbean team.
Like, bro, I guess that is so true. But I mean, MLS, he is proven like he can score goals.
That's the 9 problem, like fixed essentially.
I don't know if it's fixed. Not
fixed, but there's like a somewhat of an answer.
Yeah, honestly, bro, if he came in to play the 9, that's where they're gonna play him. He's going to have ups and downs. Like, he's going to have moments where he has like 3 or 4 games in a row with the goal, and then he has to score for 3 more. Like,
I mean, he has to be Raul Ruidiaz. That's what he's being brought in to do.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe they have another plan for a forward. I'm not sure. If that's who they replaced him with, Seattle fans, I'm sorry. But
honestly, bro, step up too.
I would take a healthy Ruidiaz over Ferreira. No bullshit. I think Ferreira's best position is a 10. I think he didn't do that well for Dallas' past season because of injury and because they were playing him on the wing.
But does Seattle use a 10?
Not really, but they haven't really. I mean, they use Rusnak. Rusnak's kind of that 10. And I think personally, they should move on from Rusnak and go grab a forward. Like, I think Jesus can do that, but bro, he's not. He's a good striker that can score goals, but he's had one really good, like, striker-worthy season, if you actually think about it. He's got a couple other seasons where he's banged 15 plus.
What if Seattle just tries a false 9? Like, what if
they could with De La Vega on one side? I guess who lay out you on the other? Oh no, who's that new signing they had? The guy who was tearing it up in playoffs against the Galaxy. He was the new big winger, Georgie, I think it was.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Yeah. So like, you could do that. I'm just I think that
Areola comes in off the bench.
Areola.
Oh, God, bro. Again, Seattle, enjoy. I think they're playoff locks for sure, in my opinion. I think they have to be Western Conference finalists. I'd put them probably here, to be honest. We cool with it?
Yeah.
Hector's like undecided.
I don't know, man. I kind of feel weird having Cincinnati like in the middle here, but
I mean, okay, if Lucho stays, I will gladly put Cincy right there. But I still think Seattle's got a better shot of making it to MLS Cup than Cincy does.
Fair enough.
That's my only take there. Colorado,
Okay.
Orlando, Charlotte, that's cool. In fact, I was gonna say here.
And this is where the championship DVD starts.
I was like, yeah. I mean, they're still a pretty good team. Okay, KC, maybe behind the Reds.
San Jose Earthquakes.
Yeah, 1,000%, bro. 1,000%. It wasn't even gonna be
Once again, don't know how they got executive of the year, but
dude, I'm telling you, that shit's bought and paid for, just like the Forbes 30 under 30 list is bought and paid for. That's crazy. There's no way anybody from this club or franchise should have been winning an award, especially in the front office.
Dude, Peter Vermees is literally a dictator over there.
Yeah,
it's just crazy.
I guess he must have a serious fucking pull at MLS because I don't no idea how that. I don't know his name, but that front office member who won Executive of the Year, shocker. St. Louis. It's still kind of a rebuild, but I mean they've been rebuilding technically, right?
Put them behind Nashville, maybe.
I just think they're assigning the summer transfer window.
Really? They're one window away?
I think so.
Where would you put them then?
Because I think
I think
in
maybe
front of DC. And the reason why I say that is because I think kind of near the end of the season, we started seeing that St. Louis team that we saw from their first year. Like glimpses, not the full, this was the St. Louis team that we remember, but we saw glimpses of the St. Louis team. And I think adding a few more pieces, I can't look at that St. Louis roster and tell you right off the top of my head what they need exactly. But I think that they have a core. They have everything that you want in the club, right? They got the fan base, and hopefully they don't lose that fan base anytime soon. But they have the fan base. I think they have the right culture. I think if you add another significant piece to this team, they're back in the conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think St. Louis is even necessarily like a bad team. Like even this past season, they had so many draws, bro. Remember the beginning of the season, like an insane amount of draws. They hit double-digit draws before anybody in the league, and they were ahead by a mile. Like it was crazy how many games, how many points they could have had just one opportunity fell their way or whatever the case may be, and then things just snowballed after that. So I don't mind this take at all. I think that where they are right now, pretty fine by my standards. I wouldn't be mad if someone put them in rebuild though. So at home, let's put the comments down below, man. If you put them in rebuild, I honestly wouldn't be mad at it. But St. Louis to me is kind of like what Houston was for these two tiers. Like you can make a case for either side, like which is why I see Davi's point, like putting them somewhere in here because I feel like they still feel like a team that is rebuilding, but in a good spot. So
Moose, let us know.
Yeah. Mo, let us know, man. All right. Toronto. This was really interesting because they had some absolute ballers on that team, but the whole scandal, I guess you want to call it that, right? The controversy. John Herdman's out.
He's rumor has it he's flying drones over New Jersey as we speak.
Yeah.
Have they secured a coach yet, or are they?
I don't think that I've heard of. No.
I think people are like licking curtain with like the NYCFC and the Toronto jobs just because he's like a proven MLS coach and he has success in MLS, but there's no like real like rumors behind it or anything like that.
Yeah.
They did acquire Thiago Andrade from the draft with the trade from San Diego, and what a fucking trade that was for San Diego. And unfortunately, it wasn't Musa Bakar, but I mean, it is what it is. We still
fair enough. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for that. Let's move on to Vancouver.
I don't know, man. They lost their coach.
They lost Sartini, man. They lost
Sartini was pretty big for them. I'm not going to say he wasn't. It's just I think he more. Do you think it was his tactics or his mindset and what he brought to that team? Because I actually think they have some really good
mindset.
Yeah, I think
they have a good team though. They do have a good team.
They've made playoffs every year for the last 3 seasons?
Yeah.
Maybe even longer.
They made playoffs, but they had to. It wasn't like a favorable playoff spot, if that makes any sense.
I think they'll make it. I really do. Like I look at Vancouver, even with Sartini gone, I'm still pretty confident. like to an extent. Now I did hear that they're selling the stadium, or that's
There's
not
a team.
the
There's a
stadium,
team.
the
Ownership put
team
them up.
itself. Yeah, so they put them up for sale. That could be a very big distraction, a bigger one than Sartini leaving. But depending on who gets their hands on this squad, like I don't know, man. I think this group of players together is kind of a playoff lock for me, unless Gald were to leave. Unless
Ryan Reynolds, this is your chance.
yeah. I don't know, man.
Wait, where
thought Vancouver was decent.
is Ryan Reynolds from?
I think Vancouver. I think he's a Vancouver native, if I'm not mistaken. So someone on Twitter was like, "Yo, like, Ryan Reynolds, this is your chance to get it."
And honestly, you know what city needs a team? Vegas.
Yeah,
Vegas needs
Ryan
a
Reynolds
fucking
is
team.
Ryan Reynolds is from Vancouver. Born in Vancouver.
I know, but I'm saying like if they're gonna like not if you get a chance to buy a team, are you keeping this team in Canada? Because I'm not. If I'm being like dead honest, like if it were up to me, all Canadian teams would be gone. No bullshit.
Especially after that BS that happened in the
playoffs with the BC place.
Yeah, yeah. I'd be like, hey, sorry, like that's it. Like you kind of, you're not serious about it. Cool. I'm gonna bring this to a city that will embrace it.
You do bring up an interesting thing because I mean there is the Canadian Premier League now, right? That's very much a thing.
Beef that up.
Why doesn't is that like a fair conversation to have? Like maybe that's for another video where do we say goodbye to the Canadian
I don't know, but to me it's just going to be a three team league between Montreal, Vancouver.
Maybe, but there's a lot of leagues.
I don't know, man. Calgary is pretty good, and I'm not biased because I know the goalkeeper coach.
All I'm saying is that there are plenty of leagues around that are known as farmers leagues to most fans that really have just 2 or 3 teams that run that fucking league. But the point is that I think it benefits both parties well. Like the Canadian Championship is not taken seriously. It's just not. I can't think of a single fan outside of Canada that looks at that as a viable league. Adding Vancouver, Montreal, and Toronto would make you a viable league.
And those are the 3 big markets that they're missing out on.
Yeah, and if the game's growing faster than ever, it would be a great move to even try and get it done or announce it before the 2026 World Cup, right? Try to put Canada a little bit more on the map than it is today. Because the Federation is honestly in shambles, bro. They're broke as shit. Like you honestly need 3 MLS teams to come in one fell swoop and kind of save your league. So I think it's a smart move. And I think, frankly, MLS, like with all the travel teams have to do now, we don't need to be crossing lines from like another country. I just don't think we need to. Like,
also the MLS teams can't qualify, or the Canadian teams can't qualify in MLS play to the Champions Cup.
Yeah. So for a number of reasons, bro, just separate parties. Like I just send them over there, let them rep their country, their league, and maybe that'll build itself up over time. It'd be really cool if it did. So that's my take on it. But I do think, you know what? Thinking about the team ownership thing and how that could shift. I mean, that's my biggest question mark. So let's put them.
But is that a transfer window conversation?
So you think rebuild fully?
You don't talk about a new
it depends. I think it depends on the coach.
All right.
I think whoever their coach is, whoever comes in, they gotta.
I mean, obviously, there's a catch. There's a catch to this for Vancouver, obviously.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, there's a little bit of an asterisk next to Vancouver. Inter Miami.
Cupper bus.
You're
at the top of that fucking list.
You don't automatically qualify for the FIFA Club hosting the FIFA Club World Cup and get embarrassed by Atlanta United. So
a DP list, Atlanta United. It's fucking
in your house.
In your house, yeah. That no shot. The New York Red Bulls, the MLS Cup finalists, New York Red Bulls. They just added Choupo-Moting, by the way. I know he's 35, but bro,
on a DP deal though, then some people don't really like that.
I mean, fine, but just think about the player to that team, right? Lewis Morgan, I think decent finisher, but his best attributes to me are his work ethic and his ability to press from the front. You add a finisher like Choupo-Moting, and I think that this becomes an interesting team. And they're not losing any major pieces. You give Forsberg another year to run that squad.
What's the shape then? Like, what's the shape are we looking at when you add now Choupo-Moting?
Depending on how you want to run the midfield, you could do like, bro. I would put Morgan out wide too if needed. Like, if you absolutely had to, I wouldn't mind using him as a winger.
I think they might also lose John Tolkien to Anderlecht. Anderlecht is like really interested in
Because I was going to say, if there's a team that can do a back three formation.
Look, yeah, it's true. I think if I'm Tolkien, bro, like I know. Well, one, why hasn't he left already? That's the biggest question mark. He's had stints with the U.S. men's national team. He's had Gold Cup runs. He chooses to just constantly stay with the Red Bulls. These are the first transfer rumors that we've seen for John Tolkien. So I don't know. I think part of me thinks that he wants to try and win one before he goes. This is his boyhood club after.
It ain't gonna happen, buddy. You had the chance. It ain't gonna happen.
I think they're a solid shout, and for me, they're actually ahead of Cincinnati on the playoff lock. I do expect them to be more consistent throughout the regular season in 2025 than they were in 2024.
Okay, cool, but we all know how that story's gonna end.
I don't know, man. We'll see. Forsberg, I think he's eyeing MLS Cup. We'll find out. And then
not gonna happen.
The reigning champions. It's a shame Honda lagged out, man. He couldn't come back in for this one, but
playoff lock, no cup or bust. They already won it.
But still, I mean, they're.
I think it's interesting right now because obviously Ricky Puig. You're not gonna have him for the next. I don't know how long, but I mean, it's an ACL.
It's like he's out till like August or something like that.
Yeah, he's basically Velasco. Same thing. He'll come back in either late August or September.
People are talking about, do you get a replacement for now?
Well, the rumors are circulating about potentially Diego Valdez leaving Club America, plays the 10 role. Could that be the move that LA Galaxy, which would be?
Isn't he like 30?
Hey,
I'm just saying, bro.
We don't shame people in their 30s.
I'm just saying, like they already have like a good amount of young talent. I mean, yeah, sure. If it was a short-term signing, I guess that'd be fine. But I don't know. He's 30, so something to note.
30 is the new
20?
25.
Fair enough. I do still think, though, obviously to your point, like it's like are 15 Champions Leagues enough for Real Madrid? No, right? Like I don't think
because they buy them all.
Duh.
We're not gonna have that conversation today. But I will say that like it's never enough for those players. They want to keep getting as many as they can. I think for
also, I don't want to hear from the Man City fan about buying.
True. Hey, 130 charges, by the way. 130, not 115.
No, we're gonna beat the case.
Y'all just barely beat one. They got 130.
They went to 114, and then they're like, you know what? Let's just vibe check the shit out of them and rack it up all the way to 130. Oh man, that was great. Pep is if he doesn't have enough headaches, he got another one there.
But just bring him to New York and we'll fucking.
Can you imagine? He says, you know what? Fuck Europe, bro. It's too many headaches. I'm done. I'm going to MLS.
Pep looks like the bad guys from Home Alone.
He does, bro. 1,000%. You might as well have iron marks, brick marks, whatever it's going to be.
I don't know if Davi's ever saw that movie.
Okay. I must say, if you haven't, bro, then Hector and I just aged ourselves.
Definitely saw Lost in New York. I mean, that's a staple in New York, right?
That's a staple.
Yeah.
That's a staple. All right, man. I think they have to go there. I think they're searching for number 7. And honestly, bro, the way they look right now, I don't think Miami are going to have to take it off of them. I really don't. I think that they're only in first in this list because they are, in my opinion, the epitome of MLS Cup or bust. They have to win it. If they don't, it will be another failure. 100%.
Yeah, the pressure's on for Miami. It's get off the pot or
it's shit or get off the pot.
Yeah, that's literally where they are right now.
Yeah, have to, bro. Have to win. Like I don't know if it goes as far as saying Messi's legacy would be tainted.
Is now coming to Miami. So
yeah, bro.
They're linked with everyone. They can't get everyone.
Yeah, I agree. So look, man, I think this is a good list. To be honest, I wouldn't move this around at all. It feels very symmetrical, despite the fact that there are 29 teams in this league. If you guys disagree down below, which I'm sure you do.
Wait, we forgot one team.
Who do we forget?
San Diego.
We're not going to do San Diego right now. I think it's a bit unfair, to be honest. I did think about that. But we're judging it off of signings. And if we learned anything from PSG 3 years ago, you do not judge a team off solely transfer signings, so they probably will flop. So
they got the vibes.
We will have San Diego FC.
That's the category. That's the category. They got the vibes.
They got the vibes. We will have San Diego FC, guys. Don't worry. In our preseason tier list, we will do our official power rankings for 2025. Once we know all the moves, right? Who's exited what team, who's moved on to the other. That's coming again in 2025 prior to the season kicking off. And if you want to check that out, again, guys, subscribe to the channel down below, like the video. All of the support really does go a long way. And like I said before, man, the last one, 2024, is this video, but plenty more coming in the new year. So again, stay tuned. All right, for everybody here at Up MLS, my name is Jose. That's Hector. That's Davi. We'll catch you guys next time.